So I played Anno 117 at Gamescom, and honestly, it almost put me asleep. In a good way, after an endless day of neon signs, noise and explodey trailers, it felt like a warm bath. I've been a fan of the series since Anno 1602, and how I got into it is actually a pretty funny story, but that's one for another time. If you're curious, ask me about it in our community Discord, links in the description below. Fast forward to Gamescom 2025, Ubisoft shows up with an enormous booth, banners everywhere, huge statues, and the message is clear: Anno 117 Pax Romana is their new flagship.
By decree of his radiant might, the Emperor, you, young governor, have been generously relocated to the soggy, sheep-strewn fringes of the Roman Empire.
The setting, the Roman Empire at its peak, year 117. You play as a governor sent to the edge of the empire to bring order and Roman taxes to the lands of Albion. The wild swamps, stubborn Celtic tribes, and the occasional angry local throwing sticks at your legionaries. Of course, as a Roman governor in Anno, you're taking control over your islands. You build your first village in the typical Anno way. You're gathering materials, build up farms, process food, and do everything needed to fulfill the requirements of your people with clothes, entertainment, and many, many drinks. But this time you have the choice. Do you want to fully Romanize the local Celtic tribes, force them into Roman traditions, or are you willing to change your path you're walking on and adapt to more local customs, allowing the locals to keep their traditions even if they are under Roman control, hoping for less resistance? What are you going to do to the landscape? Are you adapting to the marshlands and use them to grow your crops and cattle, or are you draining them to gain dry lands and building space, but with this also upsetting the local people? Whatever you do has consequences. It will influence your tech tree and buildings you can and have to build, but your choices will obviously also influence the political system in place, and either align you more to Celtic or to Roman supporters. All in all, a very interesting story arc that's building up here, and introducing the choice between two paths will give you, the player, more chances to explore the game and make the game yours. During Gamescom, two regions were playable: Albion, the rough and unforgiving land at the edge of everything, and the more peaceful region called Latium, which feels like the Mediterranean onboarding zone in the heart of the empire. A positive surprise for me was the ability to now build roads and buildings diagonal, and not being forced anymore to stick to build every district in cubes and on the grid. The building menu, however, which received a big redesign, would not receive the highest rating from me. So here's where the game still needs some love. The building menu feels overcomplicated, plenty of menus and sub-menus to click through, and the high chance to miss out new buildings as you didn't know they were there and unlocked. Disappointing was also the placement of archways and similar decorations, as it was seemingly not possible to lead a road underneath those. And you know, we all know a true Roman wants to ride on his horse to the city through an archway to show his triumph from the last battle. Rotation of buildings would also need some fine-tuning. While you can rotate buildings, it would immediately snap to a road. If you have a diagonal and a straight road close to each other, the right placement feels like quantum physics, but a little more complicated. Apart from that, Anno 117 Pax Romana almost put me to sleep during my test at Gamescom, in the most positive way you can expect. This game is an Anno title like we know and love it. The soundtrack is spot on. Absolute pleasure to listen to, even on repeat. The artwork is already beautiful, and random voice lines when clicking on a building still give that little smile on your face. This mix is the game I want during cozy afternoons and managed to calm me down after a long day running from A to B at Gamescom. Things I couldn't properly test, sadly. Land combat is back and ship-to-ship combat is still a thing, but neither was part of my session. What I also didn't hear, and hopefully Ubisoft will implement it, I will bet so they do, is bringing back announcer voice lines. Being told your city is on fire by a calm narrator is half of the Anno experience, to be honest. Let's do a quick context check for the series. Yes, there were ups and downs since Ubisoft took over. 2205 felt like an odd detour, not very Anno-like to me. 1800 brought it back with a proper campaign, a strong and solid gameplay system, and DLCs that mostly added value to the game. Anno 1800 was concentrating on what Anno made Anno. 117 is clearly using 1800 as a base, and why not? Familiar bones, smarter choices layered on top, just in sandals. And now some dates you want to care about. There is a public demo from September the 2nd to the 16th, so you can try the game out yourself soon without standing in endless queues. Full release is for the 13th of November with pre-orders already up, and also someone told me if you are seeking for the collector's edition, it should be in stock again soon. Where do I land after my hands-on? Anno 117 already nails the cozy city builder feel with a beautiful presentation and a score you want to have on loop. The dual cultural path adds replayability, diagonals nice for more natural layouts, and the broader Roman versus local identity clash actually bleeds into how you build, not just how you decorate. If Ubisoft thinks once more about the build menu, let's roleplay nicer with archways and other decorations. Smoother rotation behavior polishes the game here and there. This could be the next hit for us Annoholics. My slot was 90 minutes. Thank you so much to Ubisoft and the booth staff for the time and guidance, and thank you to you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, drop a like, maybe subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.
So will you rule with a Roman fist or a Celtic touch? What happens next? That's up to you. You can take it from here.